Hello everyone, I'm back, and today I'm going to do a storytime video. And I have contemplated on and off about making this video because I don't know, there was a lot of stuff going on. It's kind of long. I don't want to make the video too terribly long, but I'm going to probably do it part 1 and part 2. So, because I have quite a bit that I want to tell you, and I'm gonna, anyway, if you are watching this video and you are in a similar situation that I was, I'm hoping that my story will help you. And I just want to let you know that you are not alone, because I've been there, done that. So, anyway, for those of you who don't know, I used to live in a group home. I've lived in group homes for about 10 years. I started in 2006 and I had just turned 21, and I was 30 years old when I left the group home. I did not live at the same group home for 10 years, thankfully, because I probably would have went crazy. So, in 2006, my mom was living in Pampa, working at the prison at the time, and I didn't like having to be quiet during the day because she was working nights. So I had to be extra quiet, and I was bored and lonely. There was really nothing to do, couldn't go anywhere. And if you live in Pampa, Texas, then you know that in Pampa there's really not much to do as there is here in Amarillo. Anyway, so I was kind of jealous of her because she went to Vegas for her birthday, and it come to find out she did not have a good trip at all. So I had to sit at respite. Well, a couple months go by, and they called my mom and said that they found a group home in Lubbock, and they wanted to do a pre-placement visit. That's when you go and visit the group home to see how things work out, and if everything's good, then I stay. And I actually enjoyed it. I liked being able to not worrying about waking up my mom during the day or having to be quiet. I had, we were always doing stuff. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna stay here. And plus my mom told me as soon as there was a group home available, I'd be moving into it. And this group home was actually quite nice. They were all high level. They were like the high functioning. Some of them were lower level than me, but that's okay. But, they were those type of people. It was more of a follower situation. The things that I did not like about this group home, I couldn't stay by myself like I could when I lived at home. That's the only thing I hated about the group home, is not having the freedom. Like, I had to earn my freedom and trust. And I've had some good experiences and I've had some bad experiences. Like, some of the staff were cool and some of the staff were not so great. So, and this is why I will never live in Lubbock, Texas again. Okay, here's a few things I miss about being in Lubbock. And if you live in Lubbock, then you probably know. Okay, here's the one thing I do miss. That's where all the cool concerts are. And I have been to a few concerts while living there, and I was surprised. Like, my first concert in Lubbock that I went to was Alice in Chains, and I was like, well, I want to go because this is my first concert, and why not? As long as I have the money, I don't see what the problem is. So me and my mom went to see Alice in Chains. Now, I could have had a staff go with me, but honestly, the girl that was working there when I moved into that group home, she was there during the week. And the weekend staff was actually kind of cool. And I was in this phase where I listened to nothing but rock music and country music. So, and things were starting off good, but a couple months after moving in, I started having some minor issues. Well, I wouldn't say minor, but I've had a few staff that did similar things, and I've had them kicked out. I've had them removed from the house in the past, but I will get to that later, don't worry. So, I didn't like, it's rest care now. It was Educare at the time. Now, Educare was very strict. There was a lot of rules. You had to pretty much get permission. You had to pretty much get approved before you could go anywhere. And I had, I had a limited vacation time, like, I'm going to get a little bit into her later, but, they let this one girl go home as many times as she wanted, but for me, I could only go home 2 or 3 days, like every 6 months or something like that. Anyway, I've had issues with staff and clients there. Like, the first year or so, it wasn't that bad, but we had one staff, and guys never let anyone treat you like this. And if you are a staff working at the group home or any situation or any place like that, please, please, please do not do this. Don't even attempt to do it. If you're in a bad mood, leave it at the front door. It's just the way it is. That's what I've learned. And I wish Anna would have learned this. Well, this staff's name was Anna. But Anna, if you're watching, yes, you know who I'm talking about. So, anyway, which, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. But I will say that Anna was probably the worst staff that had ever worked at that group home. She's pretty much the only staff I've really had issues with, and this is my honest opinion, but at the time she was pregnant, and she used her pregnancy as an excuse to do things that she's not supposed to do. She was using it as a crutch, and that's not good. And I didn't want to tell Anna anything because I didn't trust her and I didn't want her to know my business. So, anyway, one day I was sitting in my room, just like I am now, doing my own thing. And then she comes in, I turn down the radio and I hear her talking to the other girls, like, and then Anna comes in my room and says, "Do you like me?" And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then she's like, "Well, the girls told me that you went and told so-and-so and so-and-so that I did this, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she went, like, "Why did you go and lie on me?" And I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, I was very young and naive at the time. Like, myself now, I would say, because your attitude sucks. That's probably what I would tell her now. And her attitude, I got sick and tired of her attitude. So I had to say something. I get when you're pregnant, you have raging hormones, but let me tell you, that does not make it okay for you to be bitchy with other people. So Anna was saying all this nonsense crap, like just some mean and hateful things come out of her mouth. It's like, and I'm sitting there feeling really scared, did not know what to do. And I had, you know, at the time, my phone did not have a camera or a voice memo thing. And I wish that it did, because I would have recorded it and I would have had evidence. And needless to say, when I was living at the group home, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to switch to iPhones, because I knew the iPhone had a voice memo and a video thing. And if something was happening, I could record it. And I really wish that I would have, because I would have had all the evidence. And Anna was like, don't tell them anything, because I'll just tell them you're lying. Okay. She made me do all the chores while everybody else relaxed. I stayed up till freaking midnight cleaning house because of Anna. Because Anna made me do it. And I didn't have to do any of it. I could have worried about my chores, and everyone else done theirs, you know. That was a big, big no-no. So the next day I was at work and I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I could not do anything. I was under a lot of stress. And for 2 days it was like that. Anna was just mean and hateful to me for like 2 days. And she's like, Kiri, you cleaned the bathrooms again because you said that you did it and you lied. And I'm like, Anna was out to get me. I swear that girl was after me. And and then the next morning, I was in tears. I was crying. Like, I had tears running down my face. And I ended up calling my mom. And I told my mom everything that was going on. And my mom's like, well, I'm going to call them and let them and see what they can do. And my mom got on to me because of the way Anna was talking to me. So, yeah. She was not a good person. And guys, do not let staff treat you like that. If you're in that situation, if anybody treats you like that, you pick up the phone and you call somebody right away. You should not, you know, that is your house. You should not feel unsafe. And to be honest, and one of the girls, okay, Anna did something else. And she did something she shouldn't have. And she tried to blame me for it. And I could not even speak up for myself, because if I did, then everybody would assume that I did it. So anyway, one of the girls had money coming up missing, and Anna pointed fingers at me and tried to say that I did it when I didn't do it. And fast forward a few months later, she really did something that, you know, let's rewind. A couple of days after that incident, after she tried to accuse me of stealing when I don't. Okay, I don't steal, for one thing. And obviously Anna did not even know me. She tried to accuse me of stealing the money just to get back at me, which was not okay. And Anna was very lucky, because she did some things that she should have been terminated, but they were very, you know, she had gotten lucky. If I was her boss, I would have fired her ass. She should have been fired. I should have called the 1-800 number, for that matter. And anyway, we had a house meeting a couple of days later, and I had told them everything that Anna was doing. And I said, Anna is doing this to retaliate against me. And they said, Kira, if this continues, you go to your room and you call me. Because did you know that if this keeps up, the house can be shut down? And I'm actually, looking back at it, I'm actually surprised that that group home did not get closed down. Which, it could have been a possibility, the things that Anna was doing. She was encouraging us to lie. Like, a month later, over a month later, she did something even worse. We went grocery shopping, and I see her putting things in the cart like lingerie and other clothes, and I was thinking, oh, okay, she's just gonna, I didn't think anything of it. I thought she was just gonna buy them for herself with her own money. I'm like, and that's what I thought she was doing. And she was on the phone, oh, this is some lingerie we did not even know about, blah, blah, blah. And one of the other girls had said this at the breakfast table. We were all sitting there for breakfast, and she said, I can't believe Anna bought those bras and tried to lie about it. Or, no, she bought the bras and lied about it. And I told her, she's the one that took your money and tried to blame it on me. Excuse me. I hate it when I'm trying to do. I hate it when that happens. Anyway, let's turn this ringer off before that happens again. Well, whatever. If it happens, it happens. I'll just hang. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, I said, she's the one that took your money and she tried to blame it on me. Well, and a couple months later, we got back from grocery shopping again. She was in a horrible mood. Okay, pregnancy hormones make you evil, okay? But it wasn't the pregnancy hormones. It was her attitude. It was mainly just her being her. So, anyway, we went grocery shopping, and I said, what do you want me to do with this? And she looks at me and said, you get on my nerves. And I'm like, and I'm like, oh my God, you did not just talk to me. I know you did not just talk to me like that. And I was crying about it, and one of the staff asked me what was wrong, and I told her, and she says, Anna's in pain. She's probably saying things that she doesn't mean. No, she meant it. She was being mean. She was mean and hateful, and I did not like her one bit. And so it was her last day before maternity leave, but still, I was hoping and praying that she did not come back. If she were to come back, I probably would have moved. Because honestly, the Educare people couldn't make me stay there. And I've even said it out loud. And I said, if Anna comes back, I'm moving. Because I'm not dealing with her crap. She's either going to be nice to me and be nice to the rest of us, or she's not even coming back at all. Well, Anna never did come back, and I was so happy, because when Anna was gone, things started running a lot more smoothly. I did not dread going home as much as I did. I mean, you should never have to dread going home. Nobody should feel that way. You know, you should be looking forward to going home after working, like a lot of people do, which in my situation, that was not the case, because I knew that Anna was going to be there and with her asshole self. And funny thing, a few years later, plus between me and you, that's why I went to the Alice in Chains concert, to get away from her. because let me tell you, I was angry with Anna for a very long time. I did not like her. She was one of those bitches that I couldn't stand. Yeah, so Anna, if you're watching, if you ever get a job working with people, you need to learn to treat people with respect. Because if you're rude to other people, people are gonna liably be rude to you back. Like all those times you were mean to me, I wanted to be mean back, but I knew that being mean back wasn't gonna fix it. And I was young and naive, but even if you knew me to this day, you would see that I'm a completely different person, and I'm not afraid to stand my ground, and I'm not scared of you. Pregnant or not, you know, and being pregnant does not give you special privileges just like everybody else. Anyway, that was pretty much the only issue I had when Anna was working there. That was pretty much the only time I had issues. So things were okay. But then this other girl comes, Glenda Banks. She was not a staff. She was another individual. And Glenda Banks, she was a bad influence, which is why I cut ties with her a long time ago. Because I realized, I mean, I wanted to like her at the beginning, but then again, you know, as time went on, she started to take advantage of me and make me feel bad because I did what I wanted to do. And anytime she was going to do something, she'd rub it in my face, or if she bought things that I wasn't going to get, she'd rub it in my face. Or if I was doing something and I would say, I'm all excited. Like one time I was really excited. And, you know, me and Glenda used to fight all the time. There was times where we fought tooth and nail. Like the first time we fought, she was coming in my room, threatening me, and all of this other nonsense. And that's when I discovered her true colors. Glenda was not a good friend. And she was a bad influence. And looking back, I think I would have done more if Glenda would have shut the hell up. But today, if I was still living with that bitch, I'd be doing what I want to do. I would tell her, I may buy things you're not going to get. I may do things with or without you. That's just life. Deal with it. Okay? I don't care how jealous you get. Okay? Anyway, yeah. So I cut ties with Glenda a long time ago, and I have not heard from her since I moved back to Amarillo. Okay. So 2009, I was living at the group home in Lubbock for 3 years. Then, in 2009, I moved back to Amarillo to be closer to my mom. And I felt at peace with my decision. And, you know, I liked the group home in Lubbock, but I didn't like being far away from my mom, and I was having issues with roommates at the time. Glenda was always up under my butt. She was always wanting to be nosy. Like at the time, I went with my boyfriend. Like at the time, I went on a date with my boyfriend. Yeah, at the time, guys, I was dating. Glenda was like right up under my butt when I wanted to spend time with him and not her. Like, I see her every day. I live with you. Go sit somewhere else. I did not want to be rude. And they were like, Kira, you need to start being rude, because she was being rude to you. So, anyway, come to think of it, in 2009, I moved back to Amarillo. Okay, this group home, I was not there for very long. And guys, I'm going to talk about that in part 2, because this video is already over 20 minutes long. So, you got part 2 coming soon. So, stay tuned for that.